Joan Cronan. You know, when you think of Lady Vols and you think of sports and you think of women's athletics, you're pretty much one of the first faces that pops up for me. So I'm so excited to talk to you.
Well, listen, I'm thrilled. And, you know, you say you're not a sports fan, but you are.
I've become, but the Lady Vols made me a sports fan.
Okay, good.
How about that?
Good. That is great. If you're going to be a sports fan, be a Lady Vol fan.
So let's talk a little bit about you. You know, we all know about you present day and the footprint that you have on the Lady Vols and UT. But let's go back to Little Joan. When growing up,
I tell you what, Little Joan was always a sports fan. I grew up in South Louisiana. Opelousas, it took me to the 3rd grade to learn how to spell Opelousas, Louisiana. That was tough.
Notice I didn't try to say it.
And my house connected to the park. And you know Barbara Mandrell's song, she was country before it was cool to be country. Well, I was a tomboy before it was cool for women to be in sports. So every day I went to the park and played. And when I turned 12, I wanted to play Little League Baseball and they wouldn't let me play. And Tearsa, it's like it was yesterday. I can remember going to the park with my bat and my glove and my hat, and this nice man said, "Girls don't play." He offered to let me be a scorekeeper, a manager, even assistant coach, but he wouldn't let me play. And I knew at that time that I wanted to be in a business that helped women learn to compete, because I think it's just as important for women to learn to compete as it is men. And what you learn from sport, you know, I talk about in life what it takes to be successful. I think you have to be competitive. I think you have to be able to communicate. And I think you have to have confidence. And sports teaches you all of that. Now, I'm not saying you can't be successful if you're not in sports, but sports is one way to teach you those 3 things that help you succeed.
You think that man ever looks back on your career?
I tell you what, he probably said, that little girl just was pretty forceful. But, you know, it's just like a moment in time. And why I knew I wanted to be an athletic director made no sense. I didn't know an athletic director. I didn't know. But I knew I wanted the big picture. And at that time, you had to be a coach before you could be an athletic director. So I went, I got my undergraduate, I got my master's, and here I was ready to take on the world. And what timing I had when we think about we're celebrating 50 years of Title IX.
That's right. And
that was right when I was coming out of college. That was right when I was saying, I'm going to take on the world. So I tell the girls today how lucky they are. I turn on TV, I see the female sportscasters, I see the females on the field, I see how many, there's a game every day you can watch. We've made so much progress.
So how did you get to UT?
Well, that was an interesting, I was married right out of college. I got my master's at LSU. Tom wanted to get his master's. We went to Northwestern Louisiana, and I said, I want a job, and they let me be volleyball coach, basketball coach, tennis coach, and taught full-time. That's the way you get through the first year of marriage. It's real easy. You don't ever see each other. But then when he finished his master's, he wanted to get his doctorate in exercise physiology, the 2 best programs in the South, and we knew we wanted to stay in the South, were at Florida State and Tennessee. Tennessee said yes to him in graduate school. I wrote the same little letter, and darn if I didn't come up here and get the basketball coaching job. And they didn't interview me. You should have seen my salary. It wasn't important at that time. So I taught full time and I coached basketball and had 2 children in the 4 years that he got his doctorate. So Tennessee had really good vibes with us. We loved Knoxville. We loved the fact that we were part of the program. But when he finished his doctorate, he accepted a job in Charleston, South Carolina at the Citadel. So I had a 2-week-old and a 17-month-old. So talk about juggling. I was juggling, and we went to Charleston, and yet I knew I had this passion. So once I got us settled, I went down to the College of Charleston, cold call, went into the president and said, you need to have women's athletics. That was Title IX had just passed. People were talking how are they going to meet these needs? And he said, we do. And I was either really good or really bad. I'm not sure which. But I walked out of his office, and I was volleyball coach, basketball coach, tennis coach, and AD. So basically, I got to give birth to the program at the College of Charleston. Very fortunate, and I'm smart enough to know you surround yourself with great people.
That's right.
I hired great coaches, and fast forward 10 years, we were named the #1 program in Division II in America. And Pat Summitt came to Charleston. We were both recruiting Katrina McLean, who was a great basketball player from Charleston. I wanted her to go to the College of Charleston. Pat wanted her to go to Tennessee. We neither one of us got her. She went to Georgia. but she came down to recruit her, and we were going to lunch. Driving down Broad Street, having a great visit. Pat and I had been colleagues and had a lot of respect for her. And she said, "Joan, the AD's job is coming up at Tennessee. Why don't you apply?" Well, almost wrecked. I mean, here's a dream job. I wasn't ready to move. I loved Charleston. The kids were happy. Husband was happy. But golly, that was an opportunity. And I give credit to my husband because he said, "Joan, you have this dream, and I love to teach." He said, "You can reach that dream better from the platform at Tennessee, and I can teach anywhere. I love the students." So he was willing to give up. He had just been named Professor of the Year. He had just been given a sabbatical, and yet he was willing. And that's what a partnership is about.
That's right.
You know, women ask me all the time. Men never ask me about balancing life. Women always ask you. They always ask you about balancing life. But the way to balance life is have the correct partner. Have the person that wants the same as much for you as they want for themselves. And so we came to Knoxville and never looked back.
So you get to Tennessee, you know, and it's so interesting when you look over some of the stats of where the Lady Vols were at the very beginning in terms of money even given to the department and where you took it. It's astounding.
Well, you know, it was the right time. It was a great journey. So many times I get asked, "What did you teach Pat?" Or "What did Pat teach you?" Because we made a great partnership also. Our goals were the same. We wanted high standards, we wanted excellence, and we helped each other reach those goals. And you know, I know what Pat taught me. She taught me lots of things, but one of the things was humility. Think about the Pat Summitt that we all know. You know, it wasn't about Pat. It was about we. It was about how we do this together. And I love that about Pat. And then when I think about what I taught her, I hope I taught her to enjoy the journey. Because we had a wonderful journey. I mean, to the White House 8 times. We went to 18 Final Fours. You know, just wonderful things. The whole time, the goal, the core, was we want to give women an opportunity. And the University of Tennessee did that as well or better than anybody in the country. And I am so proud to say, go Big Orange.
In my mind, I can just see the two of you all having meetings and strategizing. What were those talks like when you all were trying to put the vision into place?
But you know, it was interesting. Everybody says, "Well, did she ever give you the stare?"
Right.
Well, did you get the stare? You know, only one major disagreement, and I was right, so it was okay. No problem. But you know, we were working together because our goals were the same.
Okay.
I mean, and Pat was so humble, and she was also so giving, because I wanted basketball to be so successful, but I wanted our volleyball team to be good and our track team, and she gave to them. Think about when we added softball. Monica Abbott put Tennessee on the map in softball. Pat was willing to take Monica under her wing when she came in to visit with her, and I'll never forget, Pat said, "Monica, if you get us to the World Series, I'm going." First year Monica's here, we upset Stanford out in California, and I'm sitting there with the team, and Karen and Ralph Weekly are talking about, you know, going to the World Series, and Monica started waving her hand, and she said, "Miss Cronan, Pat said she would go with us to the World Series. Will you?" And I said, "Yes, we'll both be there." And we'll both, so it was a matter of great teamwork, and I think that's what it takes to be successful.
Was it hard trying to convince people that women's sports is worthy? You know, when you think about, you know, the basketball program very well established and it kind of took off, but just making sure that all of the women's department got the same type of love.
You know, I get asked a lot because this is 50 years of Title IX, and is Title IX working? I don't have to do a study. I don't have to do statistics. All I have to do is get on an airplane. And if I'm sitting there visiting with somebody and I say, I'm Joan Cronan, I'm Women's Athletic Director Emeritus at Tennessee, the next words out of their mouth are, I have a daughter or I have a granddaughter who, and they go on to describe the athletic ability of their daughter or their granddaughter. And you know, when moms and dads and grandmoms and granddads want the same opportunities for their daughters as their sons, Title IX is working. And all you have to do is go watch one game and watch these young ladies with the passion and the pride they have succeed. You know, when we were winning championships, I can remember ESPN came in. And, you know, they wanted to do an interview. They wanted to know why we were so successful. And I wanted to give them my half-hour speech, but they just like sound bites.
That's right. We
just
do.
sound bites. We got it. You understand. I understand that. So I simply said, we have developed a passion, a pride, and have hired the right people to be successful. And I really think there was such a passion to do it right. And there was a pride because nobody else was doing it at that time, and it was working for us. I mean, to think that within the SEC, Kentucky or Vanderbilt men led the conference in attendance, and the Lady Vols were either second or third every year, and that we were drawing more fans than most of the men's programs in America. And it was exciting, and people wanted to be a part. But you know, it was exciting. Yes, we won, but it was exciting because the people we had compete. Think about a Candace Parker. Think about a Kelly Jolly, Harper now. And think about those young ladies competing and giving their all. People wanted to see them. We added softball, hired Karen and Ralph Weekly. What a great couple who've developed such a great softball. Matt Credage in our swimming program. We have one of the most outstanding swimming programs. And my goal was that all 11 sports that we had be in the top 10 in the country.
Let's talk about the Lady Vol brand, the brand itself. It's one of the most recognizable names in college sports. You know, how did you all kind of figure out, you know, this is what we're going to do? We've got the white, the orange, the blue. How are we going to make this stand out?
Well, you know, I think it's what's behind the brand that's important. You know, actually, Gloria Ray was our first women's athletic director, and Pat and Terry Crawford, who was our first track coach, sat at lunch one day on a napkin and drew the Power T and then added the Lady Vol signature. I love the Power T. The Power T is what represents the University of Tennessee, and it's big orange country, and all of those things are really special. But it's also fun to have the brand of the Lady Vols. The blue is interesting.
Okay.
When I got hired to coach basketball at Tennessee, I think I was being paid $3,000, and our budget was $3,000. And my office was in the basement of Alumni Gym, and that's about as far down as you could get. And I was getting ready to order uniforms. Now, you got to realize that was before internet.
Okay.
So I'm trying to call and get uniforms. I could get white uniforms with orange letters. But nobody was making women's uniforms in Tennessee orange. Oh. So rather than in today's world, we would have to get permission, we'd have to do marketing study, we'd have to figure out what you know, but in the basement of Alumni Gym, I said, what color do you think looks good with orange and white? I said, oh, I like Carolina blue. So I called and ordered Carolina blue uniforms with orange letters. So that's where the blue got in, and that was, I hate to call the date out, but that was about 1968. So that's how long the blue has been a part of our logo. And what is really cool is this year, with the administration that we have, they've really emphasized the blue, and it's called the Summit Blue, and actually the football team wore it in honor of the Lady Vols the other day. And so it's exciting, but we're all orange and white. The men use gray or black as their accent color, and we use that Carolina blue.
Under your tenure, the Lady Vols really skyrocketed, you know, whether it's championships and just even the record of academics and how wonderful
You know,
all those
I'm
girls
so glad
were.
you brought that up. If Pat Summitt was sitting here today with us and you ask her what she was most proud of, you know, you'd think she would say, you know, eight national championships. She would probably say 59 SEC championships, 18 Final Fours. But what she would say was that every young lady who played for me for 4 years graduated. And that's the pride that you're a student first and an athlete second. And that continues in the program today, is that you are that student and you are that athlete, and that's real important.
So let's talk about when the university merged the departments, the men and the women's athletics. 2014, boy, that was a time to be in Knoxville when that announcement was made. It wasn't received well.
Well, what wasn't received well was taking the Lady Vol logo. Merging the programs worked well.
Okay.
In fact, I was a part of that when Mike Hamilton stepped down and I stepped in as athletic director for both the men and the women. It was the right time to do that. We had grown. We had merged a lot of things, just like corporations, what's financially works. We were treating men and women equally. We were doing all the right things. So it was time to merge both programs. And I asked the chancellor, let's do that under my watch, because I think it would go down better.
Beneficial.
And I think it was the right thing to do. And I love what's happening at UT right now with our administration. We've got great people. We've got great leaders. In fact, last year, when they won the All Sports Trophy, I hope I was the first one to call Danny White, because I called him immediately and said, congratulations, you did something that we wanted to do for 30 years.
Let's talk a little bit about your Women's Basketball Hall of Fame induction. What was it like getting that call to say, hey, guess what? You're in this class this year?
That was really special, because, you know, and it was for what I gave to basketball. I wish I could say I was the leading scorer and all of that. I was a good basketball player. I wasn't a great basketball player, but I loved the game and I loved what it taught. And so that was a real honor to be able to go. And what's really even a bigger honor is the fact that we have the Basketball Hall of Fame right here in Knoxville. And if our listeners have not gone to tour, they need to. I mean, I did the breakfast after my daughter's wedding at the Hall of Fame and with all the out-of-town people, and brought them in to show what we have. It is a showcase. It's one of a kind, and it's so well done.
You know, looking at your career and all of your Hall of Fame inductions, you probably could just keep going to different schools and doing the same footprint. Why is Knoxville home, and why have you decided to let your legacy end with UT?
Well, you know, UT's been good to me. I've loved Knoxville. Knoxville's a great place to live, to raise a family. It's just really special. I'm a Louisiana, born in Florida, but I'm a Louisiana native, and but Knoxville's home, and I just love the people. I love what we stand for. I think you can move into Knoxville and immediately become a part of the community.
That's right.
And I think you felt it, I felt it, and it's just I'm a Cajun, but I have orange blood.
Do you think Joan, who was denied that baseball team membership when she was a little girl, would be proud of Joan today?
I know she would. I know she would. And it's because so many opportunities that people cared and bought our vision. You know, when Pat and I were driving down Broad Street in Charleston, she said, Joan, would you think about applying for this job? Just think what we might be able to do. And when I heard Tom say, Joan, that platform gives you an opportunity to help more than just one team or one school, you know, it just worked beautifully. But if you ask me, what I'm proudest of is I hope I was a great wife and a good mother. I've got 2 great daughters and 5 of the cutest grandchildren you have ever seen.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, listen,
just a touch of it with us.